Good morning, everyone. We'll begin in about 1 minute. Or we can begin right now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ireland Northwest International Business Forum held here at the University of Massachusetts Club. My name is Patrick Bench with Benchmark Strategies. I have a great pleasure of welcoming you here today and welcoming our Ireland Business and Government Delegation to Massachusetts. My role here today is to be the one you hear the least from, but to keep things going. We've been having the pleasure at Benchmark to work with the delegation for the last 3 days, but really over the last 6 months, has been working to both assist companies from Ireland Northwest enter the U.S. market, as well as prepare and raise the profile of their region as a place for Massachusetts companies to do business. We had a terrific day yesterday, beginning in Worcester, hosted by the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce in Tim Murray, followed by an event with about 50 Springfield companies at the Tech Spring Bay State Health Center. I think the point what we're seeing is, while companies may also land in Boston, there's so much to offer from across the state, from the Berkshires to the Cape. Today, we are very fortunate to have the City of Boston, Carolyn Crockett, welcoming on behalf of the mayor, as well as the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Office of International Trade and Investment, Mark Sullivan, to give remarks on behalf of the governor. But before I turn that over to Mark to give the Massachusetts welcome, there's a couple of other Ireland-based organizations and Northern Ireland-based organizations that are doing terrific economic development work every day here in Boston. So Enterprise Ireland, Invest Northern Ireland, IDA, they're great partners to work with, not only for this delegation, but for other organizations going well, not to mention the Irish Consulate. So today, we've never made this many name tags before an event before. And for some of you that RSVP'd at 9 a.m., you're just out of luck. Right now. We had over 120 Massachusetts companies and organizations RSVP'd today. We see this opportunity not only to connect you with the delegation, but also connect amongst yourselves as well. We're also very fortunate to have Mark Brady from the National Governors Association International Trade Office joining us today. My role is to keep the speaking program moving, which is what I'm about to do. I'd like to welcome Mark Sullivan from the Massachusetts Office of International Trade and Investment. Thank you all for being here.
Good morning. My name is Mark Sullivan, and I'm the Executive Director for the Mass Office of International Trade and Investment, otherwise known as MOIC. I would like to welcome our distinguished guests from Northern Ireland and the rest of the delegation that's here, and also thank Patrick Bench and Benchmark Strategies for hosting today's event. I'm especially pleased. I'm from Massachusetts. You'll hear from the city of Boston after me. But I'm especially pleased that the delegation was also able to travel to Worcester and to Springfield and see the rest of Massachusetts. I've been on a couple of trade shows, and we'll put up the banners that says Massachusetts. And people will come by and say, is that in Boston? Challenge for us. Moody's mission is threefold. We try to recruit international trade to Massachusetts. We support Massachusetts companies in going global. And we also perform a diplomatic protocol on behalf of the governor's office. We'll be the ones that will be different dignitaries when they come in. For instance, the Irish minister will be here on Friday afternoon to meet with the governor. Moody also engages with the extensive business traffic that's going on. So we do our best to keep track of who's doing what with who. With all the universities and all the international activities going on, it's quite a challenge. I was appointed in February of this year, and you are now the 40th delegation from a different country that's now come to Massachusetts in that time. Why Massachusetts? According to Bloomberg News, Massachusetts is the #1 state for innovation. How did this happen? It's due to an abundance of universities, research facilities, and intellectual capital that comes from our education environment. It's due to state and local government working together. Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, are strong advocates of government agencies facilitating and supporting the private and public activities to support our innovation economy. Many times, that's just stay out of the way and let them move ahead forward. We're an economy that is focused on being a global leader in the areas that Massachusetts does well. This incorporates the establishment of clusters, which we could consider centers of excellence in the field of life science, clean energy, education, high tech, and maritime. We're also working hard to stay abreast of the emerging sectors such as e-health, big data, cybersecurity, and advanced manufacturing. To support these clusters, the state created, we call them quasi-agencies. They're part public, part private agencies. These agencies, such as the Mass Life Science Center, the Clean Energy Center, the Mass Tech Collaborative, which is represented here today, these quasis demonstrate how government can partner with industry and academia to support the growth of these economic clusters. The clusters, in turn, have started their own kind of separate industry with the establishment of accelerators, incubators, and innovative centers that are now multiplying across the Commonwealth. There's really hundreds of them. Every city and town now wants to set up its own innovation center, find out what it's good at, and make those offers available to industry. Massachusetts is also a national center for venture capital and angel investors, so it's strong financial support for identifying and supporting entrepreneurs and startups. I remind visitors that Massachusetts has a rich tradition of innovation and ingenuity that stretches back to the earliest days of New England. Bostonians like Benjamin Franklin, who's actually just down the street from us, when Bostonians like Benjamin Franklin and others saw beyond the status quo to explore new possibilities. We like to think that we're continuing that tradition today. The Commonwealth is led by the city of Boston. Over 1,000 foreign companies either have their headquarters or their affiliates based here. The 60 consulates and a large number of foreign students can provide a gateway to the global marketplace for our businesses. These global gateways are facilitated by the increasing number of nonstop international flights, approximately 54 now, including our kind of a curious one. When the international flights, as the international flights increase, there's a direct correlation to the increase in the sale of lobsters. There's over 100 languages, including Gaelic, that are spoken in Massachusetts, which is a testament to the importance of our immigration community. Massachusetts recognizes that besides our innovative good looks, there are times when additional incentives are necessary. Therefore, we have programs to provide financial incentives, such as workforce training and development, permitting, infrastructure support, and tax incentive financing that are available depending on the combination of the business activity that's going on. I could spend the rest of the day highlighting the close cultural ties between Massachusetts, Boston, and Ireland shared together. In reviewing the Northwest Ireland delegation business interests, apparel, education, food, software, seafood, and sports, I have no doubt that your expansion plans to the U.S. would fit in very well here in the Commonwealth. From a business perspective, you'd be joining the ranks of many companies from Ireland that have already established a presence here. Companies that in 2015 made Ireland Massachusetts' 9th leading export partner, with the Commonwealth exporting approximately $850 million in goods and services. In turn, Ireland ranks as Massachusetts' 5th leading import partner, with the state importing around $1.8 billion in goods and services. These numbers are quite out of balance, as you can see. I'll have to talk with Beaver about doing something about this. From a workforce and cultural perspective, Massachusetts is considered a second home by many Irish. We share a common language. We play hurling in Fenway Park. You've got Brexit, and we've got the Donald. And with the way we drive in Boston, it doesn't matter what side of the road you're on. We've also got a top-notch consulate led by Fanula Quinlan and her team. In closing, once again, in the administration, I welcome you to Massachusetts and thank Benchmark Strategies for hosting these forums. I know that Irish companies have choices, and you're recruited heavily by other states. And while I won't disparage my less than the best innovative colleagues, there's one competitive advantage that I want to highlight that only Massachusetts can offer Irish companies. Just imagine you're on a plane from the Emerald Island. You've entered U.S. airspace, you look below, and you see Boston. And you'll think to yourself, gee, if I'd only located there, I'd be home or in the office. Thank you very much and welcome to Massachusetts.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'd now like to introduce, on behalf of Mayor of Boston, Martin Walsh, Carolyn Braun. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, I know we have a time difference, but it's still morning here, so good morning. It is great to be here with you all. I've been looking forward to this conversation for weeks. So excited to welcome you to Boston on behalf of Mayor Martin J. Walsh and Chief John Barrows, the Chief of Economic Development. Welcome to Boston. And you can see we tried to work the weather a little bit, so hopefully it's familiar. It's a little overcast. I know some of you are familiar with that, so we did that. I have to share a quick story. First of all, I've never been to Northwest Ireland, so I need to get there. I have had some great conversations in the room already, and I feel like we've made some fast friends. But I had one fateful trip to Cork. One weekend I got up and I said, you know what, I need to go to Ireland. I'm from Boston, born here, raised here. I need to figure out what this Ireland thing's about. So I'm going to get on the plane and I'm going to go. And I don't want to stay in a hotel. I want to stay in a neighborhood. I want to stay in a B&B. I want to see what it's like. So I get on the plane, I go, and I stay in this teeny B&B on Bantry Bay. And it was incredible. Welcoming, people were warm, casual, laid back, spirited. And I go to my room, and as I walk through the hallway, I look out the back window, and there's a line of clothes hanging, and there's a cow. Cow walks by, laundry line, and I said, I must be making this up. And I go to the bathroom and do what I have to do. I walk out, and there's the cow again walking the other way. And I said, maybe this is a problem. Maybe there's someone's cow has gotten loose. Maybe I should tell somebody this is a situation. So I go downstairs to the B&B owner, being a good Boston girl. I'm civically engaged. I'm going to rescue this cow. And the woman says to me, oh, well, yeah, cow just walks around. That's just our friend. And I said, oh, so there's not an alarm. It's fine. She said, yeah, that's just part of the neighborhood. So don't you know that 2 days later, I see the same cow at the other end of town, and I realize, you know what, this is the place I got to come back to. So really, the sense of ownership, of community, of entrepreneurial spirit, and just laid backness. So that's what I found in the South. I can only imagine we appreciate that you have chosen to visit Massachusetts to develop new business partnership opportunities. I extend the warmest welcome to Mayor McClinton and also Mayor Slowey. I look forward to connecting with them, as well as Chief Executives John Schulte and Seamus Haney. This is a fantastic event. The Cat Bench has done a great job getting us all together. I want to also salute my colleague Mark Sullivan at Moody. Boston and Ireland have more than just funny stories to share. We have a strong shared heritage and history. And we also share very, very strong economic entities that have been connected, disconnected, reconnected, refreshed over many, many years. Boston and Ireland share highly skilled workforces, access to venture capital funding, and a friendly business tax landscape. We think about what else we want to do to connect our research environments. The fact that we're emerging as a major hub of technology for startups. Boston also is young and growing. We're home to one of the most highly educated workforces. We got a lot of students here. We have a lot of young people. We have a lot of capital ready to get to work. Over 55% of people who work in Boston have a bachelor's degree or higher. Of those, almost 25% of people who work in Boston have an advanced degree. So we see ourselves as a highly educated population. And there are 35 world-class colleges and universities in the Boston area, represented as well by our flagship UMass Boston, where we sit as our flagship public university. Boston just has an incredible amount of energy and students that are coming out with degrees in science and technology and STEM. And also, as a young city, 35%, more than 35% of Bostonians are between the age of 20 and 34 years old. I understand that we have that in common with your region as well. In 2016, Boston was ranked the #1 U.S. city for fostering entrepreneurial growth and innovation by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Venture capital deals by Boston companies rose from 66 in 2012 to 103 in 2014, about 30% of the area's total deals. So this is a big story for us because although folks really like to talk about the West Coast and talk a lot about Silicon Valley, I would have you to know that there's quite a lot of action that's right here. We're proud of that, and that will continue. In the last decade, patents issued to Boston residents have grown by 8.3%, nearly 10%. The top classifications for patents issued to Boston residents are medicine and computing. You all also may know that Boston is home to Mass Challenge, the world's largest accelerator. We're very excited about all the new companies and the new ideas that come pouring out of the city on a regular basis. The high-tech industry is thriving. I'm here to tell you, the year before last, I saw 30% of job growth for the city in tech. So there are a lot of opportunities here in terms of partnerships, in terms of learning what we have figured out, and also getting right to things we need to work on, and thinking about what that means on both sides of the Atlantic. There's a real opportunity here, and I want you to know that we have the people, power, and capital to indulge. So we're also excited by the fact that our economy overall is in a very good place. Our economy grew 5.3% between 2013 and 2014 and continues to grow. We continue to outperform the nation with 2.3% annual job growth. So although I'm throwing all of these points and statistics at you, the real picture that I'm trying to paint is that we are a metropolitan region that's on the move and is very eager to look for new partners, new ways of extending that growth beyond the region, and again thinking about what is the next. And what is the next story that we'll tell for the city of Boston? What is the next story that we'll tell for our partners across the Atlantic? We are currently right now in the third largest building boom the city has ever experienced, with $7 billion in construction investment underway. So we've seen lots of cranes around the city, and as you travel around, Office of Economic Development, we are currently scaling up our international strategy and have in mind ways to build partnerships that will support cultural and economic exchanges for years to come. Very excited to sit with a mayor who has had a very robust set of ideas around what does Boston's international strategy, what does Boston's international plan look like. We're excited to have one. It's long in coming for the city to really have a coordinated set of resources, a team, and a vision for how to get that done. Your visit today is really comforting to us to think through how we can step more fully into our international strategy. So what we really want to build is a two-way conversation, a two-way channel for thinking through how to promote opportunities for foreign direct investment and a welcoming environment for companies from around the world looking to open in a U.S. location. So as companies, many of you consider opening in Boston, we have a team ready to work with you from start to finish to help guide you through the process of doing business in Boston. We look forward to expanding our relationship with you, and thank you very much for considering all of the opportunities and all of the partnerships of the city. And we absolutely encourage you to take full advantage of your time here. I know that the city is ready to work, and I, on behalf of everyone back at City Hall and on behalf of the mayor, look forward to again continuing the conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Also, we're fortunate in Eastern Massachusetts, part of the regional economy collaborative. We also, in addition to the city of Boston, we also have Kevin Duffy from the city of Malden here as well. But we look forward to connecting here and then later in the program. I'd now like to introduce from Ireland Northwest, the mayor of Donegal County Council, Terence Lowey.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's great to be here this morning, and what a backdrop you've laid on for us. I just want to say to Carolyn, if she comes to the Northwest, it's mostly sheep we have roaming around. And the problem is, Carolyn, they're not quite as smart as the cows. Mark Sullivan, Executive Director of Massachusetts Office of International Trade and Investment, Carolyn Crockett, Director of Economic Development Policy at the Mayor's Office. My name is Terence Lowey and I'm the Mayor of Donegal. And we're delighted to be here on this joint business delegation from the Northwest. I'm here in the company of the Mayor of the City of Derry and Strabane District Council, Councillor Hilary McClintock. And also we have the Chief Executives of both councils with us, Seamus Neely of Donegal County Council and John Kelpie of Derry City and Strabane City Council. I'm sure many of you know that there have been, historic links between Ireland and Boston, and many of our forefathers and indeed mothers arrived into Boston, sailed out of the port of Derry in the 1800s and indeed in the last century as well. We are delighted this year to bring a more focused approach to our itinerary and a concentration on helping businesses from the northwest of Ireland develop new market opportunities and identify possible inward potential business pipelines to the northwest of Ireland as well. It has been through these relationships that we have been able to develop over the last 5 years, and an understanding and mutual respect and trust that will benefit both of our regions. You will hear later from our Chief Executive that the Northwest is a great place to do business and an even better place to come and live in. It's a place where you can get a true life balance and have time to spend with your family, enjoy the wonderful physical environment and our rich cultural heritage that we have in the Northwest. Today and this week you will hear about some of the major US and other inward investment companies that have invested in the northwest of Ireland. You will also hear directly from the Indigenous businesses who are with us on this trip, 17 businesses. In Donegal alone, there are 7,500 businesses employing 29,000 people. These sectors include food companies, artisan and commercial food companies. We have aquaculture and fishing, engineering, medical devices, IT and software, creative industries, education and tourism, to name but a few. Our tourism sector in Donegal is now only beginning to reach its full potential. Donegal has the most scenic and spectacular part of the Wild Atlantic Way. This route runs from West Cork, where Carolyn was, right all the way up the west coast, up to Malin Head in Donegal, which is the most northerly point in Donegal and indeed the most northerly point in Ireland. We are seeing significant annual growth in tourism numbers, and last year we had 600 we had 600,000 visitors to our county. And if you haven't been to Donegal the Northwest, I invite you to come and experience our beautiful county and the Northwest region. I want to thank all those who have organised today's proceedings on both sides of the Atlantic. A particular thank you to Pat Bench and his team, and our guests, Mark Sullivan and Carolyn Crocker. In conclusion, I want to thank everyone for being here today and look forward to talking to you all later in the day, and I hope that the contacts that are made are mutually beneficial, and as Kevin O'Connor said, it's a symbiotic relationship. We both get mutual benefit from this relationship. Thank you very much, everybody.
I now have the pleasure of welcoming Mayor McClintock. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mark and Carolyn, for your introductions. And like Terence, I want to invite Carolyn to come to Ireland. We have to round off your experience, Carolyn. We could probably recreate the experience from the cow in the backyard, but you have to come to the Northwest and see our thriving bustling economy up there. Consider yourself invited. It really is a great honour to be with you here today to represent the Derry City and Strabane district, and to thank you all for coming here this morning. We are absolutely delighted with the interest and the support for our visit. I have the honour of being the second mayor of the brand new local authority, Derry City and Strabane District Council, which was only established on the 1st of April 2015. It's a brand new organisation. It has a singular focus. That is on improving the social, economic and cultural well-being of all its citizens. This focus will only be delivered if we recognise the need to work in partnership across the entire Northwest region. I'm especially delighted to be here as part of the Ireland Northwest delegation, and it is very fitting to be here alongside my fellow mayor, Terence Slowey from Donegal. The story of our region and Boston is intertwined. It's woven over many centuries and one that endures to this day. From the early 1700s to the onset of World War II, when the last transatlantic steamer sailed from the port of Derry, Londonderry, one of the principal immigration ports in Ireland. This isn't the first time that the two local authorities have led a delegation here, and we have been overwhelmed by the welcome here from our friends in Boston and their continued support. And it's just great to hear today that you're the #1 state for innovation. That's a new one for me, but I'm very pleased to be here at this time. The visit provides Ireland Northwest with the opportunity to reaffirm the already established strong links here in Boston, to forge new friendships, and to showcase the economic, social and cultural potential of Ireland Northwest. One of Ireland Northwest's greatest strengths is its homegrown talent pool and the proud entrepreneurial spirit that this fosters. So we are delighted this year to be joined by our business sector on this delegation. 17 companies have travelled here with us, representing and testimony to the innovation, entrepreneurship and the talent existing in our region. We have a strong knowledge economy and a strong and diverse SME sector, a strong base with almost 10,000 registered businesses across a range of sectors, as you will see from the companies represented here today. We're proud of our companies. They're outward looking and they're ambitious. They're keen to expand their business interests here in Boston. It's our aim to assist these companies to achieve their goals. We know that our people are our greatest asset, and explore new ways of supporting and making connections for our businesses. Thank you for supporting our trade and investment mission, and thank you for all those who have organised this occasion for us. We bring you the best wishes of Derry City and Strabane District Council.
I'd now like to have the opportunity to introduce John Kelby, Chief Executive of Derry City and Strabane.
Thanks very much, Pat, and thank you, Madam Mayor, thank you, Mayor Terence, thanks, Mark. As Pat said, my name is John Kelby, I'm Chief Executive of Derry City and Strabane District Council, and I'd like to add my welcome to you all here today. In particular, I'd like to welcome the 17 companies that have travelled with us all the way across the Atlantic the other day to be with us this morning. I think we'll get an opportunity to speak with them very shortly. That's what it's all about. And you'll get a flavour of the innovation and the creativity that we just heard about that exists in our region, and the fact that they're reaching out to make new opportunities here to create new partnerships, to work with you to drive their businesses forward. And indeed, they are a small sample of the talent that exists back home in Ireland Northwest. We have over 10,000 SMEs as we speak doing business right across Ireland, right across the United Kingdom, right across the European Union, and indeed already doing business with quite a few of you here in the Massachusetts area. It really is a very creative economy, and certainly the cows up in the Northwest are up involved in many of our innovation centres. Just recently amble around like they do in Cork. So I see many familiar faces in the audience today. Obviously, as has been said this morning, our relationship goes back over hundreds of years. Many of you will have travelled back and forward over the years and are great friends of Ireland Northwest, great friends of our two great areas. But for those of you who haven't yet been, it's a bit like Cork, only a lot better. Our delegation here today comprises Donegal County Council and Derry City and Strabane District Council. It straddles the border between Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the Republic of Ireland. The city area is the fourth largest city area on the island of Ireland. At its core is the city of Derry, Londonderry, which I'm proud to serve. And the population of the city area is around about 400,000 people. We're a cross-border area. Our businesses and our people cross that border every day. Currently, there's free movement of trade, of services, of people across that border. With Brexit on the horizon, I'm pleased to say that our governments, the British government and the Irish government, have pledged to maintain that open border as best they can to ensure that free movement of trade of people is unhindered and unimpeded in a post-Brexit Europe, which is very important for our economy. Very pleased to say that's right at the top of their agenda in the next number of years. We're very well located. We're very well connected as a thriving city region. We have the fastest broadband connectivity of any city region right across the UK, Ireland, and Europe. Our physical connectivity is pretty good as well. We're about an hour and a half west of Belfast, and its airports that connect into the UK and Europe. We're about 3 hours or so northwest of Dublin, with 170 direct flights a week here to the US. If you go back to your office this afternoon, you'll have time to do a full day's business. Hop home, get your dinner, get a change of clothes, head down to Logan, pick up one of 2 daily overnight flights. We'll land you in Dublin tomorrow morning, and you'll be up in the Northwest about 8:30, 9 o'clock, ready for the day's business as we open. And so it's very easy to get there. We're about 5 hours time-wise, the East Coast here. We're about 1 hour behind Europe, somewhere between 2 and 8 hours behind our friends in Asia. So as has been said earlier this morning, when we do business, we can do business on our working day with you during your working day, and we can do business with our colleagues in Europe and Asia on the same working day. So we're very centrally located. We're right behind the middle of Dublin. Very good place to be. So we've been over here in the last 5 years or so doing business with you, and we know that roads, new bridge, new buildings, new hotels, high levels of occupancy rates, the largest number of tourists and events that have taken place in the city for many, many years. So you'll see all that happening. But right now, over the last couple of years, something even more lasting is starting to develop. That maturity of relationship is really beginning to kick in. On both sides of the border, led by both councils, we have a process in place to look for that next thing, to decide where we want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. What type of society do we want? What do we want for our people? And we've engaged our communities right across the council areas in a parallel process. We've engaged all of our business communities, we've engaged our education and higher ed sector, we've engaged all tiers of government. Very importantly, we've heard this morning that the success of Massachusetts is very much put down to all tiers of government working together. We've done that over the last 12 to 18 months in northwest of Ireland, on both sides of the border, and we've created a new vision, a new place we want to be, and we've coupled it with a high-level strategic action plan. And we've done that with complete ownership right across the 400,000 inhabitants. We now have that shared one vision for where we want to go, what we want to do, and how we want to achieve it. And in doing that, we've put together this new partnership that exists across this international boundary, a unique partnership on the island of Ireland and the United Kingdom, a unique model of local government, central government collaboration in Europe, one of the first that's ever been done, one of the most successful, recognized and endorsed by 200 countries in terms of how we take the place forward. And that's our Ireland Northwest initiative that you hear about today. So what are we going to do over the next 5 to 10 years? Well, some key metrics for you. We're going to lever in and invest over £3 billion sterling of development. We're going to improve our connecting infrastructure down to Dublin and over to Belfast. We're investing heavily in our rail network, links. We're going to double the size of our university. We're going to invest in our regional colleges. We're going to do more to develop that talent pool that we talked about. We're going to invest right across the city region on our opportunity sites, building out new office blocks, new leisure facilities, new accommodation, new public spaces, new public realms, big improvements in both of our urban centres and right across our towns and villages in terms of quality of life. We're going to empower our communities. We're going to ensure that at the same time as we're investing in our downtown areas, that we're going to empower and strengthen our community areas and bring people on that journey with us, with the people at the very heart and core of what we do. That's going to result in over 10,000 new jobs created across the council area. And remember, we've only got that population of 2,400,000 people. We're going to add 500 million GVA to the economy. We're going to drive an additional 186 million of additional wages into the council area. We're going to reduce our unemployment levels to below the Northern Ireland average for the first time ever in that region of Northwest Ireland. And we're going to put an additional 100 million of tax take into local and regional government, which will of course be reinvested into the economy. How are we going to do that? Well, we've 40,000 young people in our area studying in our regional colleges and our university. We have 35% of our population under the age of 25. We have a hugely ambitious, hugely energetic workforce. 31% of those guys with a lead skill go on and achieve first and higher degrees, so we're not terribly far away from some of the statistics that are here. They have a huge predisposition for innovation, outward-looking, forward-thinking, working right across the world, reaching out, making partnerships. We're seeing on a microcosm in Ireland Northwest what we've been experiencing here over the last number of years. And we, as the local authority, are going to harness that and drive that pace forward. So we've got that ambition, we've got that vision, we've got the action plan, we know where we want to go, we've got absolutely stable political leadership, we've got all of our strategic partners lined up behind us, and we've got the international mix and the diaspora to help us do that. We're really that John has just described that have travelled from the Northwest for Trade Mission here this week. I suppose just to focus in on some of the ideas and concepts that John has spoken about. We travel as a collaboration from across the two council areas. We've worked very hard over the past number of years, over the past two years in particular, to ensure that we have streamlined that potential to collaborate for best advantage for everyone involved. We're very pleased to be joined by the development agencies. We have Udras Nagilta here, and we have the chair of that, Anya Gallagher. We have the further and higher education representation. We have the Letterkenny County Institute of Technology and its president, Paul Hannigan. We have Northwest College and its chief executive, Leo Murphy, and they're representative of the wider further educational provision in the Northwest, and the University of Ulster are part of that as well. And as John has said, between them, they cater for 40,000 students at any given point in time. We have a group of businesses, 17 in total, that are representative of those 10,000 registered businesses that exist in our region, and they are hungry for business. They're eager to do work. They're ambitious. They're reliable and they're consistent, and they are a flavour of, I suppose, the businesses that are going to bring our region and achieve the ambition that John speaks about, where those numbers will grow considerably more from where they are at 10,000. And I suppose what we want to do is to ensure that we have as many dialogues ongoing with others that have similar interest. At the end of the day, what we want to do as a region is to ensure that we have a very clear message, a very clear focus, but that we have, in effect, a single point of contact for anybody who wants to do business with us. So for anyone here in the room who needs to engage about anything in the Northwest, our idea is that you speak to any representative of any business or of any agency, then in effect you are speaking to the totality. I also want to acknowledge the support that we get back at home from our development agencies generally, and we had Enterprise Ireland and IDA in the room next door this morning. As John has said, we come from a region that has the fourth largest urban centre on the island, population of around 400,000 people, a very representative population, a population that's eager to grow, and a population that's eager to make a significant contribution to our expanding economy. Both councils have a strong history of collaboration over many years in order to ensure that the potential that exists in the Northwest of Ireland is fully realised and released. And John has mentioned the structures that are there to ensure that that collaboration is founded in the areas that both councils have. Both councils have a collection of members that sit together and look at the development of this relationship across the councils to ensure that it captures the needs of both. We also have a lead role as both councils in the community planning process, and I think that gives us an ideal opportunity to connect with a wider stakeholder grouping across the state agencies, the community, the voluntary, the business, the various sectoral interests that exist. And when John says that we speak for everyone and we have communicated with everyone, it is through the community planning process that we've been able to do that, I suppose, most explicitly. And then John also referenced the very ambitious plans that exist for further infrastructure improvements. I suppose we're anxious to ensure